Welcome and greetings this evening of your time. How are you all? Oh, thank you. Perfect as well. Allow me to begin this interaction. Perhaps you can say the first of a three-part overall intensive interaction. This particular interaction we have in that sense titled Clarifying Your Vision. Next month of your time we will discuss definition and deservability. And the following month we will discuss action. Perhaps you can call this the Lights, Camera, Action series if you wish. Therefore, we will now begin with the overall foundation. We have discussed many times that you are the creators of your own reality. We have discussed many times that creating your own reality according to preference is simply a matter of a slight shift in perception. You already create your own reality, and it is merely a matter of now beginning to factor in continuing to do so automatically, randomly, hodgepodge as you say, or beginning to take responsibility for creating your reality according to preference, enjoy, from desire, which we have already to some degree discussed. Understand all that it takes to line or align your reality according to your preference is clarity of your vision. Now, one other way to put this is clear intention. However, for now we will refer to this simply as your vision. That being the thing, the event that excites you the most. As we have reminded you, perhaps many times, though it is always the first time for us, your excitement is the direct indication of who you chose to be in this life. This applies to the most exciting thing that you feel you may ever do, and it also applies, again, perhaps you can say microcosmically, to what's available in any given moment using that vibration, that perceptive sense that you have, your excitement, to determine what is most you, and then act upon that option with integrity. In this interaction, we will, for the purposes once again of alignment, focus more on the concept of the thing that excites you the most. Now, in general, we do not. In general, we focus your attention to the moment, to what's available in the moment. But understand, lining up, aligning with the most exciting thing directly affects what occurs in the moment and allows whatever occurs in any given moment to actually be a stepping stone toward the most exciting thing. Therefore, in order to allow your reality to be a bit more consciously created according to preference, allowing yourself to fully acknowledge the thing which excites you the most sets up that clear intention. Sets up, perhaps you can say, the vision which will represent one of the overall general themes or purposes in your life. One of the overall themes or purposes that you have created this life to discover. And therefore, when aligning with that most exciting thing, your moment-to-moment reality begins to reflect this alignment. And though, again, the things that are in a given moment may seem to have nothing to do with the most exciting thing, when you decide on the clarity of that vision, the establishment of that vision, each moment then has something directly to do with that vision. And what excites you in any given moment will now change, for the things that will excite you will now be representative of the path of least resistance toward that most exciting thing. So it lays down a foundation. We are not in any way, once again, suggesting by this that you do this at the cost of remaining grounded in the moment, but simply to utilize as a compass, as a pointer, as a barometer, to where these moments will ultimately lead. Therefore, allow me to begin by simply asking you all the questions, perhaps rhetorical for now, and when I ask it, simply allow your mind to furnish you with whatever comes up, without any judgment or analysis. All right? All right. For a moment, close your eyes. I simply will ask a question. Allow your imagination to furnish the answer in whatever form it comes. If it seems ridiculous, if it seems in that sense to run contrary to your normal, shall I say, utilizing your terminology point of view, simply allow it. Note, when I ask this question, what comes up for you? All right. Is everyone there? Yeah. Just checking. The question is simply this. And I am asking each and every one of you this question personally. So therefore, factor everyone else out. This is your question. What comes up in the screen of your imagination will be your answer. What truly excites you the most? Allow yourself to breathe and allow yourself in, once again, the theater of your imagination to provide any symbol or any impression that comes up. We will allow a moment for this. Time's up. Now, from time to time, in interacting with members of your society, not to draw any conclusions from this, not to make any generalizations, but individuals will simply say, well, I do not know what excites me. To which we will always reply, yes, you do. First of all, understand in no uncertain terms, you do know what excites you. When you say that you do not, you simply withhold your ability to access what you all already know. But what perhaps we have not shared is that individuals who would seem to not be privy to what excites them will generally withhold that impression from themselves for one of three general reasons. Number one, judgment of that thing by your society. Now, perhaps more accurately, you're buying into the judgment about the exciting thing that your society seems to heap upon it. For understand, it is never a product of their judgment which prevents you from doing anything. And never can their judgment even have any effect on you whatsoever until you match or create your version of their judgment in the form of self-judgment. Well, everyone knows you can't do that. So therefore, that will be one of generally three reasons that you will find that you will from time to time not allow yourself to access what excites you. So this is why we say no matter how seemingly ridiculous it may seem, when asking yourself what excites me, allow anything to come up. Number two will be something that we have discussed in some detail, which is a quote-unquote fear that you could not achieve what excites you. Again, I remind you that this is a paradox. The fact that it excites you tells you, is the indication of your prerequisite ability to do that thing. So it is a paradox. remind yourself, relabel that your excitement not only tells you that this is most you, but then by extension, that obviously you have the ability to do this thing. There are no dangling carrots in creation, other than the ones you choose to create. So therefore, the mere fact that it excites you, in that sense, shall I say, allows you to know in no uncertain terms that though it may not be obvious in that moment how this thing can come about, my excitement tells me it absolutely can. Number 3, there is a general overall feeling that many individuals, and again we have discussed this as well, that upon achieving, quote unquote, the thing that excites them, that they will not have the ability to actually do that thing, that they actually do not have enough power, or perhaps fear quite the opposite, that they could not handle the power that would come along with the fulfillment of that exciting thing. And again, I remind you, simply, there is nothing that you can ever create, nothing that you cannot handle. Otherwise, there would be extraneous creation, and I remind you, there are not. Everything by virtue of the fact that it exists tells you by definition that it belongs. So understand the message that excitement delivers. Number 1, it tells you you can do that thing. Number 2, it tells you that when doing that thing, you will have more than enough power to continue to do that thing, and that power can never overcome you, for it is an expression of you. So therefore, should you find in asking yourself what excites me the most, these barriers arising, simply dialogue with yourself, utilizing the reflections that we have just shared, and ask yourself again, what excites me the most? Allow it to come up. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to validate it. Understand once again that most literally, though you perceive yourself as physical matter, you are energy. You are consciousness itself. Therefore, you are a frequency of energy. Literally, a wavelength, a frequency, a spectrum of energy. When you establish your clear vision, you, in that sense, conform the frequency of your reality to the frequency of your desire. So therefore, understand that it is not merely a mental exercise to clarify and establish your clear intention. It is literally the initiating step that sets up the energy template, the model that, quote unquote, your reality then grows upon, so to speak. Therefore, it is not merely an exercise, but a foundational statement of conscious creatorhood. If you are willing to acknowledge what moves you, what excites you, you are clarifying your vision. You are focusing down on the overall idea that right now is most representative of who you are. Again, it is likened to dialing, perhaps you can say, a phone number, or in that sense, a particular address. It tunes you to the preference of what exists in your reality. So we cannot emphasize enough that your willingness to allow yourself to be aware of what excites you the most sets up the vibration that allows your life to fall literally into place through coincidence, through the seeming strangest of events, and once in a while, to keep it interesting, through the obvious course of events as well. Understand, you already do this in various forms. You already reaffirm reassert some intention. Very often, it is that you constantly repeat, I cannot do the thing that excites me. I cannot achieve the thing that excites me. This is the establishment of a vision. This is the establishment of an intention. Perhaps not according to preference, but nevertheless, it is the same thing as an intention because it is a statement by you. And perhaps you may understand that in that aspect, the universe is quite neutral. It does not read into what you are saying and interpret it takes you quite literally. So when you affirm, I cannot do what excites me, I cannot do what excites me, you are clarifying a vision that lays down the foundation for a reality that results in the effect of not being able to do what excites you. Brings the evidence along with it that yes, you cannot do what excites you, for that is what you are continually stating as your belief. And setting up foundationally then, again, emotions, thoughts, and actions correspondingly. So you already use vision, use intention. Though again, it is generally a random effect. Simply, you need not cease being random and run away from the random approach. By establishing consciously your clear intention, you automatically distance yourself from the old approach, but not by running from it in an invalidating way, but by validating and acting according to the new approach. Automatically do you distance yourself from the negative or reciprocal of what you say you prefer. In the second half of this interaction, what you call after your break, we will perform a short, perhaps you can say, guided visualization that will once again enable you, perhaps in more symbolic terms, to focus in, to hone in, to tune literally in on what excites you. But first we will allow the settling, perhaps you can say, of some of the information that we have just shared in terms of what you create as impediments and in terms of your new way to address these ideas and allow your excitement to be delivered to you on a silver platter. Now, before we begin, I again remind you, once you establish your overall vision, your overall intention, you will either be able to do something, to act in this moment toward that particular end, or not. If you can, by all means, act, do. Whatever is most obvious is there for a reason and will stand out in your reality for a reason. But once you have established the clear intention, you no longer, if it is not available in the moment, need fixate upon it, obsess upon it, but simply check in with it. Is it available? Is there anything that I can do right now toward my vision? Yes. Do it. No. All right. What can I do something about? And remind yourself. Maintain that clarified vision. And move forward from what is available. Therefore, again, you do not use the most exciting thing as an excuse in any given moment not to do the things that are exciting in that moment, but simply use it as a tool of alignment to remind yourself, this is what I will settle for no less than in my life. This excites me. This is obviously one of the reasons, key reasons I am here. Therefore, I will allow it to unfold into my reality. And I will allow it to be an ecstatic process by continuing to maintain it as a clear vision while acting from what is available on the things that excite me. Now, that is an exciting and ecstatic life. That replaces your quote-unquote old momentum, the illusion of momentum, with a quote-unquote seemingly new preferable momentum. Again, momentum is an illusion overall, but it is an apparency and can also be used to your advantage once again you seemingly establish the momentum of your excitement with integrity. Allow me now to once again thank you all. It is not only an honor, but an ecstatic joy to interact with you, particularly now that you are on the cusp of a whole new understanding in your society. Many things are occurring. Many things will continue to occur. Many exciting ideas are just around the corner, as you say. And therefore, it is our joy that on some level, obviously, by the fact that I can communicate with you in this way, you have invited us to participate. Perhaps on the sidelines for now. But the idea is you would have it no other way. It is your game. And therefore, you make the rules and you determine the quote-unquote outcome, as you say. We thank you for your willingness to allow you to be part of our vision. For we are all truly related in the essence sense. We are very literally brothers, sisters, cousins, parents, children, in many ways, in many differing and different styles of relationship. Therefore, again, it always is an ecstatic joy to interact with you. We thank you for the honor. We thank you for the opportunity to behold your culture at such a time of transformation upon your planet. Due to this willingness, I ask you now how I may be of service to you and vice versa. Sharing.